Hey guys, this video isn't going to be very long. I'll make another video maybe next week explaining some of the things that have been going on. But I just wanted to point something out. It is very clear that those of us who have been targeted for decades, even for me it was a little bit over a decade, but I've heard of targets who said that their targeting started, 20 something years ago, or more. But it is clear that we were a trial run for what's going to be happening to the whole population, to humanity as a whole. For example, I'm hearing more and more human rights activists claiming that they're being followed, they're being intimidated, like in a really weird way. And then they go on to explain what's happening to them, and it sounds exactly like what we targets complain about, right? It sounds exactly like what we call gang stalking. Obviously, that's not the official term for it. We don't know what the original term is. It's just what we call it. But even more so, some of them are saying that the police are targeting them, right? The police are trying to intimidate them. A while back I heard of a man, what was his name? Lang, I think, from California, and he had stood up against police brutality, and then he said that the police started trying to intimidate him and following him and driving by his home, and he feared for his life, he said. Well, he turned up dead in his home, locked in his home. There was no way anyone could have gotten in, and they deemed it suicide. It wasn't suicide. Okay? So now we have, this has been happening to activists all along, but now we have mainstream activists, more and more of them, coming out and saying that they're being followed, especially by the cops. They're being followed. The cops are following them. The cops are driving by their home. The cops are encircling them. Someone said that, well, they were giving a presentation, they were off to the side, and the cops had encircled them prior, and then the cops were looking at them and snickering and waving and snickering and looking back at their camera and snickering and holding up a camera and snickering. Folks, this is what happens to targeted individuals. One person said that they were, they were so afraid of the cops, and I think this is in Arizona now, that they felt the need to say that if they turn up dead, they're not suicidal, right? So if they turn up dead and someone tries to claim it's suicide, it's a lie. And this is happening to both male and female activists now, and it's gone mainstream. So listen, what has been happening to targeted individuals all along, okay? And it is now happening to more and more people, and I think it was all leading up to this moment. We were tested on. Now, granted, a lot of us were also activists, so that could have been part of it, but there are a lot of targets who have no clue why they were chosen, okay? We were the trial run, and the people who didn't believe us then are now complaining about the very things that we have been complaining about all along. No, they're not calling it gang stalking. No, they're not calling it organized stalking. But the tactics, the attacks that fall under the label of gang stalking, they are complaining about happening to them. It's gone mainstream. And it's about time the world woke up to what's happening and to the fact that, no, we are not crazy. It's getting bad, folks, and it's going to get worse.